hello, Facebook. Hello, LinkedIn. Hello, YouTube. My name is Linda Murray Bullard. They call me the business plug. And so we're doing a special business plug mixer today in order to introduce reflexology to the audience. So, hello, Mia. How are you?
Hello, hello, hello. I am wonderful. I am wonderful. Grateful for the opportunity to be with you on this platform.
Absolutely. I thank you for your yes. So, tell them about Mia Earl.
Yes, Mia. I am a natural health practitioner and reflexologist. Currently reside in Memphis, Tennessee.
Yeah.
However, I want to shout out the Delta, Mississippi Delta. I am originally from Clarksdale, Mississippi.
Okay.
However, I am very passionate about health and wellness and helping others to just be well.
I like it. I like it. So we talked about your business and you were telling me, so how old is Abundant Life Wellness?
Abundant Life Wellness Solutions was actually birthed officially in 2011. So
Yeah.
we are about 12 years,
Yeah.
12 years in the making.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing because this is year 10 for LSMB,
Right.
my business.
Yeah.
So in order to be at 12 years, that is a milestone within itself. And so when we talk about reflexology, because we don't have a lot of conversations about reflexology, when we talk about that study, like I do know, and I want to say I read somewhere years ago, and correct me if I'm wrong, where it was was it a Chinese art form or what was it?
Reflexology actually originated Egyptian, and many people don't
Egyptian.
know that. Yeah, it
Okay,
started. It
okay.
started Egyptian way back in the Egyptian tombs.
Mm,
There's a pic that they found that actually showed some Egyptians, and they were, holding and doing something with each other's hand and feet. So that's actually where it originated, and
I
then
like it.
of course, it went through some different chains, and then it was more Americanized.
Okay, okay. And so
Mhm.
with reflexology, you're talking about being in tune with every part of the body, like the pressure points for every part of the body, right?
Right, absolutely. With reflexology, your hand and your feet specifically, in the area where I am, but it has also grown into there's facial reflexology, there's ear reflexology, but my specialty is hand and feet. But every part of your body can be reflected in your hand and your feet. So every organ
Mm.
and gland of your body is reflected as reflex areas in your hand and your feet.
Yeah, I used to have this handyman
Yeah.
that used to come over, and but he always talked about the pressure points, right? So
Mhm.
he would say, "Give me your hand, give me your hand," and
Mhm.
he would show me different things. He was like, "Because I have for from the time I was 7 until I caught COVID." When we talked about my COVID story, until I caught COVID, I used to have migraines
Mhm.
routinely,
Mhm. Mhm.
and him showing me the pressure points when I would have them, he would like, mash on certain parts of my hand
Mhm.
in order to stop the pain and things.
Mhm.
And so, and for the most part, it worked, because my levels of migraines were all over the board. They were all over
Mhm.
the place. I had certain triggers that I had to learn how to work with, but I haven't had one since I had COVID.
Mhm.
So if anything good came out of that, I
Right,
no longer
right,
have migraines.
right,
But yeah,
right.
but when you're talking about reflexing the body. So explain what that is.
Yeah, absolutely. And just to share a little bit about my journey and my introduction to reflexology, I've always been in the health and wellness industry.
Mm-hmm.
And I was doing some program implementation, program planning, taking programs from paper and making them to full-fledged programs.
Okay.
However, I wanted to do something that I felt was a little more touchy.
Okay.
And I met a reflexologist, and I knew nothing about reflexology. However, I did know I enjoyed a good quote unquote foot rub.
I heard you.
So
I
that
heard you.
was my introduction to reflexology. So all of you all out there that know that you enjoy a good foot rub, reflexology may be your thing. But fast forward, I was doing stress management workshops at the time and invited her to come and share. And the more I truly heard about reflexology, the more intrigued I became. And I started receiving some sessions, and believe it or not, what really sold me on reflexology, even though I wasn't receiving it for this, were my sinuses. I noticed the difference in my sinus pressure, my sinus drainage. So I was like, okay, it is definitely more to this reflexology than a good foot rub.
Yeah. But a good foot rub is a good thing to take away from it too, right?
Right.
I love it.
Absolutely.
I love it.
Absolutely.
And so, and that's what I find about most business owners. They start their business based off some life occurrence, right? And so, and this is no different. And so you do this, so people come to your business. You're located where in Memphis?
I am located southeast Memphis. If anybody know southeast Memphis. And I focus on just helping the person to be well. And that can vary from different, different conditions, different instances that people may be going through. One of my focus in reflexology, of course, reflexology, let me explain it just a little bit more. When I look at your hands and your feet, I look at it as if your body and every part of it, as I've mentioned, represents a part of your body. So as we were talking about, the migraines and the sinus problems, the tips of your fingers, and your thumb is your head, your great toe is your head, tips of your fingers is your sinuses. So every part, when I'm looking, I'm not saying this is the person's hand or feet. I'm literally saying this is the person's body. So it can be anything from, just wanting to relax. Reflexology helps the body to totally relax. It improves that blood supply. It improves that nerve supply. So in return, it's helping the body to rebuild, regroup, repair itself. And research has shown that we have over 7,200 nerve endings in our feet. So those nerve endings run all through the body to the organs and glands of the body. Wow. So whether it's just, the relaxation, de-stressing, dealing with headaches, sinus problems, tight, tense muscles, and even chronic conditions. I work with those that are diabetic, high blood pressure, recently, those that have encountered strokes. So people really don't realize the true benefits of reflexology. And I always like to say, I can tell you and tell you and tell you all these wonderful things about reflexology, but until you get in that chair, and I'm going to say my chair, that's when it truly comes to life for you.
Absolutely. So what are some of the things when you mentioned all the parts of the body? So if you are having, well, first of all, we know de-stressing, right? I mean, that's a given, helping you to de-stress. But then also, what other chronic illnesses or ailments can reflexology help with?
Let me put a disclaimer out here first that reflexology, as a reflexologist, we do not cure or diagnose, any condition. If you are really having, chronic health conditions, we definitely, advise you to see your medical provider. Reflexology is known as a complementary medicine. So it works hand in hand with the traditional medicine. I don't tell anyone, it's their own preference, one or the other. I have had some individuals, specifically, diabetes, where I was like, okay, make sure that you are letting your provider know that you are receiving reflexology so we can work this thing, together. And how you do that, of course, is your own personal, your personal choice. Right. And I'll give one client that I can remember specifically dealing with high blood pressure, and was number one, reflexology, detoxing their system, and her blood pressure became low. I knew immediately what was going on. She was receiving some complementary services, reflexology and detoxing, and she was taking high blood pressure medicine. So she had not only the high blood pressure medicine working towards lowering her blood pressure, but she also had added some complementary things so her blood pressure was lower than it would normally be. So asking her to discuss that with her medical provider, the medical provider did start to cut down on her blood pressure medicine. So those are the kind of things that I like to see. I am a natural health practitioner. So professionally, my goal is that my clients, those that I work with, are on the least amount of medications or no medications at all, if possible. However, that's a discussion for them to have also with their medical, their medical provider.
Absolutely. So what age groups do you generally work with?
On average, my majority of my clients, I would say, are 50 plus. I do have, I do see younger, but I found that those that truly are consistent in their reflexology care is 50 plus. I also do work with individuals, corporations that have employees that use their hands quite a bit, whether it's typing all day, whether it's in distribution, beauty, the beauty industry, those that use their hands quite a bit. Now, those tend to be a younger age because they start getting, and a lot of that also is a repetitive movement and not using proper body mechanics. So they do start getting the numbness, the tingling, the throbbing, the weakness in their hands. So I do work with those individuals specifically to lower their risk of developing carpal tunnel. So it really just depends on what the focus is. My younger crowd is probably those that are using their hands quite a bit, but those that truly come in consistently regarding their health, their overall health, tends to be 50 plus.
Okay. That's something to know. And so how does it work? Like, do they come every week, every month? Or what does that look? What does a treatment plan generally look like?
It varies. So it depends on what they're actually coming in for. I have clients that come in every week. I have clients that come in every other week, twice a month, and I have monthly clients. So it really just depends on. Now, if somebody comes into me and we're working on something specifically, I will highly, recommend, look, in order for you to get the best from your care, the best from reflexology, you need to at least do 4 to 6 weeks every week so you can really see how reflexology is going to work with your body. Then, if necessary, we will start tapering off every other week to monthly.
Okay.
To monthly as well. But I do have some clients, the stress, anxiety, they are in there every week. So it varies.
That's interesting. So it depends on what state they are in when they come to you.
Right. And it depends on, their availability, their finances. So there are some other variables as well. But so all of that plays a part, but definitely, what they're presenting with.
Yes. I love it. And so, do you ever have like family plans or buddy systems or any of those things happening where somebody chooses to come and do it, like couples? Like when you talk about massages, there's couple massages, there's family, friends, whatever. Do you offer anything like that where a person and their partner can come?
That's definitely, that's definitely available. It's not something that, that I regularly promote. generally those types of services, when people want to do that, they fall under, special times.
Mm-hmm.
It may be somebody's birthday, or we're in love month, so it may be for Valentine's Day, or a special moment where they may want to come in together as couples.
Mm-hmm.
Or I also do what I call barefoot and beautiful parties, and that's where you can get your girlfriends together. Even men, believe it or not, people ask me the percentage of men, and sometimes it's about 50-50,
Wow.
with men and women.
I can
My
see that.
men, I found, either love reflexology or they don't want nobody touching their feet.
It's because they're ticklish.
No,
You think?
it's not. I don't think it's because they're ticklish. They just don't want, they just don't want nobody, touching their feet, even hands. Sometimes they may go with the hands, but
uh
sometimes, you just got those people that just don't want nobody touch.
Yeah, yeah. Especially
So
now with
yeah,
COVID and all these things, other things that are happening.
yeah.
So yeah. So if you were going to lead advice for someone who may be watching this on the replay, what would that advice sound like?
Take care of you. Take care of you. Make you, number one priority. I get it
Absolutely.
all the time that I don't have time, or I'm busy. And I'm going to speak right now specifically as an entrepreneur, speak to the entrepreneurs
Mm,
that, we're busy. We wear, multiple hats, not only the hats that we wear in our business, but the hats as a mother, as a wife, or
right.
significant other, obligations to our, community services. Take care of you. There's only one you. And if you can't do what you need to do, you're no benefit to anyone else, your children, your spouse, your significant other. You're
Mm,
no benefit, to your business. So you have to find a way to put you first. Take that time. I also do, not only, for individuals that can get to my office, I also do virtual webinars as well,
okay.
self-care, webinars, where I take you through some specific reflexology points, and it can vary depending on what the topic is. If we're
Uh-huh.
talking about the stress and anxiety, even depression, or if we're talking about diabetes, high blood pressure, I can walk you through specific points on how you can incorporate some of that into your lifestyle,
Yes,
where
yes.
you can be the best version of you. So that's one of the number one things that I will leave, is we got to get to a point where we are truly taking care of self.
I love that. I love that. Well, I thank you for coming on the Business Plus Mixer, talking about reflexology. And so, where can people get in touch with you?
I can be found, of course, Facebook at Abundant Life Well. You can find me on LinkedIn at Mia D. Earl. You can also get in touch with me. My phone number is 901-352-8882. That's 901-352-8882.
901-352-8882.
8882.
Got it. And so, those are the places that people can reach out to you in order
Right.
to connect with you and learn more about reflexology. Like, I find it very interesting to understand about the pressure points and how you can release stress. And you teach them things they can do between treatments?
Absolutely. Yep, I absolutely do. I give them, a lot of my clients, especially dealing with potential carpal tunnel issues, give them some things that they can do at home
Okay.
as well.
Yeah.
Right. It's really, for me, it's a holistic approach. And people are amazed that it truly does touch every part of your body, mentally,
Mhm.
emotionally and physically. Reflexology is definitely a holistic approach to your health and wellness and being well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, again, I thank you for your time. I thank you for bringing this much needed information to the Business Plugs Mixer. My name is Linda Murray Bullard. They call me the Business Plug. And so Sundays at 7 p.m. Eastern, I bring the Business Plugs Mixer on LinkedIn, Facebook, and on YouTube. But today's a special edition because I thought we really need to know more about reflexology. Reach out to my guests, let her know that you saw it here, and I'll catch you Sunday here on the Business Plugs Mixer. Have a great rest of your week, everyone.
Thank you.